warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Zahidah binti Alim. With my partner, Masturah binti Zakaria, we present to you our research study with the topics of the effects of human resource development on organizational productivity, a case study at Tenaga Nasional Berhad, Petaling Jaya, Selangor. I will start with the research background. Human Resource Development (HRD) is the key process in the organization which they will lead all the employees under the organization. There are 4 factors that influence HRD on organizational productivity in this study. They are recruitment, competencies, employee retention, and also work culture. The purpose of this study is to examine the effects of recruitment, competency, employee retention, and also work culture towards the organizational productivity.
For the problem statement, the problem of human resource development on organizational can be in various problems which are improper in human resource measurements, change management, poor leadership development, and efficient learning and development. Besides, human resource practice also can influence a negative effect on the attitude and behavior of employees at the individual levels, a great impact on the organizations or company because of the poor human resources planning, and some of the list from the impact of the human resource practice is unproductive staff, lack of motivations, and high employee turnover.
The following research questions are developed to identify the effect of human resource development on organizational productivity. Case study at Tenaga Nasional Berhad, Petaling Jaya, Selangor. Therefore, we create and prepare the research question. Which of the following? What is the extent of HRD on recruitment at TNB Petaling Jaya, Selangor? What is the significance in competencies toward HRD at TNB Petaling Jaya, Selangor? How does of HRD effect on employee retention at TNB Petaling Jaya, Selangor? How does of HRD effect on work culture at TNB Petaling Jaya, Selangor?
For the research objective, the specific objective of the study is first to know the extent of HRD on recruitment at TNB Petaling Jaya, Selangor. Second, to study the significance and competencies toward HRD at TNB Petaling Jaya, Selangor. Third, to examine the HRD effect on employee retentions at TNB Petaling Jaya, Selangor. Lastly, to investigate the HRD effect on work culture at TNB Petaling Jaya, Selangor. The first literature view is recruitment. It will recruit with a pool of potential qualified job candidates, and the quality of human resources is dependent on the quality of candidate who is interested at the organizations. Alvin 2005 stated that recruitment will give significance to the organizations because of the process involved during the time of recruiting and hiring a good candidate. The research done by Izzy Ali and Isiaku 2010, the recruitment from any organization is important, but because the success of the organizations is depending on the quality of employees that have been recruited into the organizations. For the second literature view is competency as stated by Leslie C. 2015. By doing various tasks or skills at the proficiency target, the organizations or company will increase a positive level in competencies. The second effect of the competency in perform well on the various tasks in the organizations will make a new strategy for the organizations more advanced to move forward. Is proved by Rochelle 2011, the competencies will predict the career advancement. Same goes for the organizational productivity.
The third literature view is employee retention. Management of employee retention includes strategic movement to retain employees' motivation and keep employees focused so that employees choose to be employed and be productive for the sake of the organization. According to CAR 2017, employee work satisfaction and participation factors are the main content of employee retention programs, as mostly the employee retention policies are deliberately addressing the needs of the employees in their career. Hiring a new employee can cost the organization in terms of hiring and training process, according to Al-Mamun 2017. Thus, it is preferable to retain employees instead. Hence, if an employee is very involved, it is more likely that they will stay in an organization. Since 2008 stated that organizations initiate training programs for development of employees can as well retain their employees. Lastly, work culture. A company's work culture explains how to properly respond within the organization. Marcus M. 2018 suggested in his study that organization culture determines the contact over activities as the situation differs from each other, which can be observed in the internal view from employees' perspective. An organization should restructure themselves in empowering employees and focusing in instilling leadership mindset. Plus, human resource is termed as the caretaker of an organization culture. STEMKIF K 2015 has suggested that in order to perform this important role, every human resource professional should assist to develop and maintain a strong culture.
On the literature view, the conceptual framework has been illustrated to make a better understanding on the extent in which independent variable has been significant associations with the organizational productivity. Besides, the independent variables are recruitment, competencies, employee retentions, and work culture, while the dependent variables is organizational productivity.
The independent variables have been stated from the conceptual framework, which is recruitment, competencies, employee retention, and work culture. It will be an important effect that influence organizational productivity. Firstly, there is significant relationship between recruitment and human resource development on organizational productivity. Secondly, there is significant relationship between competencies and human resource development on organizational productivity. Next, there is significant relationship between employee retention and human resource development on organizational productivity. Lastly, there is significant relationship between work culture and human resource development on organizational productivity. For the methodology, research design, we use quantitative method, unit of analysis. The respondents are from the TNB Petaling Jaya Selangor. For the sample size, 80 respondents among employees at TNB Petaling Jaya Selangor. Next, sampling technique used is under non-probability sampling, which are judgmental sampling and convenience sampling. The Likert scale will be adapted in data measurement with the dimension from 1 to 5. 5 is strongly agree, 1 is for strongly disagree. The data analysis in this study carried out by using the Statistical Package for Social Science (SPSS). Basically, SPSS first store and organize the provided data, then it compiles the data set to produce suitable output. Also, Bayesian correlation as the tools used in order to carry out the data analysis in the study. Last but not least, data collection consists of 6 sections, which are Part A, Demographic Profile, Part B, Organizational Productivity, Part C, Recruitment, Part D, Competencies, Part E, Employee Retention, and also Part F, Work Culture.
Based on the demographic profiles, it will be started with the age of most of the respondents, which are the workers, 35 to 46 years old at 36.3%, followed by 26 to 35 years old at 28.7%, 46 and above years old at 18.8%, and lastly 18 to 25 years old with the remaining 16.3%. Next, the gender of the respondent was mostly male at 51.2% and female at 48.8%. For educations, the most are degree are 56%, followed by diploma at 15%, ordinary levels at 30.8%, master degree at 7.5%, and lastly other with the remaining 7.5%. The most level positions of the worker is lower level management at 48.8%, followed by middle levels management at 35.5%, and lastly senior management at 18.8%.
Move to the main finding. The first objective, we use Bayesian correlation with the result R value 0.690, P value 0.000, and the hypothesis H1 are accepted and HO are rejected. Second objective, we use Bayesian correlation 2 with the result R value 0.628, P value 0.000, and the hypothesis H1 are accepted, HO are rejected. The third objective, we use Bayesian correlation with the result R value 0.694, P value 0.000, and the hypothesis H1 are accepted, HO are rejected. The last objective also we use Bayesian correlation with the result R value 0.593, P value 0.000, and the hypothesis H1 are accepted, HO rejected.
For the research recommendations, firstly, job descriptions. Job descriptions help staff know their responsibility and duties, and they also serve as a tool for potential employer to utilize when selecting the most suitable individuals related to the job criteria. It will make the organizations become more organized in terms of divisions and scope of tasks, where employees already know what scope of work they need to do and perform. Secondly, voluntary training, often used as a component of the VM plan to increase employee knowledge, abilities, and work performance. Also, It will be increased involvement inside these skills training benefit not just the organizations as a whole as well as the individual worker. Next is organization focus on employee retentions. Organizational should initiate strategies to retain their potential employee as it such a waste to the organization to lose them. The organization should consider trying to fulfill the demand of their employees such as in terms of employee salaries and benefit. Lastly, a better work culture. To have such conditions, the manager or the head of organization must practice positive work environment for the well-being of all employees. When positivity has spread, they will treat each other with respect, gratitude, and develop a sense of belonging in the organizations. Strong company culture can influence work performance of the employee and it can influence the productivity rate.
Next discussion is on research limitation. Firstly, insufficient responses. During the period of this study, several of the respondents did not address properly and intentionally provide misleading data, while others showed no interest in answering the topic. This will have an effect on the accuracy of the findings. Next, limited sample. In this study, the sample size used is low, which only consists of 80 respondents, as this study only conducted in one organization. Small sample size may influence the result of this study as it may have bias or the given answer is not the truth. Lastly, limited time for completing the study. The study has to be complete within a curtailed amount of time. That period provided for performing this study was unsuitable since it was too quick, barely a few other months. It takes a while to complete. As a result, several months is inadequate for this research.
For the research future recommendations, firstly, improve the strategies for developing survey questionnaire. The type of questions to be asked afterward may have a significant impact on the responses which will be provided. Take the following facts and strategies while preparing the research to promote better, efficient, and appropriate responses from the respondent. The respondent can comment to open-ended questions with their own term. Second, large scale of sample size. The researcher could widen the scope of study to other branches of TNB or other organizations as well in Malaysia. Since there are a lot of organizations in the country, including public and private sector, the wide scope can help researchers to gain more input for the study conducted. Lastly, lengthen the time conducted for the study. Researchers should consider to increase the time frame to conduct the study. This is because researchers can collect more precise information and data from the respondent. This allows the researcher to observe the change of variables over time. In conclusion, recruitment, competencies, employee retentions, and work culture had a positive relationship with human resource development on organizational productivity. But it is clear that employee retentions have a strong correlations and play a significant role in human resource development on organizational productivity. Thus, the human resource development need employee retentions to increase the organizational productivity in the field. The other independent variable also have strong correlations with the dependent variable, which is success have positive relationship with the human resource development in organizational productivity. But employee retentions is the higher relationship that make the human resource development on organizational productivity to keep going. That's all from us. Thank you.